Today's Easy Tarot is for Sunday, Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Live a meaningful life. Discover the meaning of life. The sun, seeing the light. We start this reading off with the Seven of Cups. So many choices, so little time. Options and choices, pipe dreams. Like visions from a dreamscape, each of the seven cups partially reveals a fascinating curiosity. You would need to step closer to see them fully. They float in the air, suggesting subconscious desires or tempting daydreams. The dark clouds in the background serves as a warning against clouded judgment. Whilst the Seven of Cups can bring options, let's start it over. My phone was down, not sure if it recorded. So, Easy Tarot. For Sunday, for Wednesday, August 19th, the sun, seeing the light. Live a meaningful life. Discover the meaning of life. We start this reading off with the Seven of Cups energy. Oh no, we won't. We start this reading off with the devil, your own worst enemy. The devil, excess, unhealthy behavior, secret plans. Engulfed by flames, a bare torso emerges against the backdrop of a large pentacle. The elements of fire and earth dominate, representing unbridled energy and material pleasures. The horned mask can suggest secrecy, but also the blind pursuit of earthly desires. The devil represents the shadow side of human nature, so all forms of excessive tendencies and hedonistic behavior can feature. The card is steeped in the temptations of the earthly and material world. Addictions can sometimes feature as a form of self-enslavement. The devil is like the itch that you can't scratch, yet you're always free to walk away. The devil can indicate a passionate or compelling relationship with a strong physical attraction, and although not usually a healthy one, it can suggest obsession, controlling and manipulative behavior, or a clandestine affair, but check any supporting or surrounding cards to verify. It may also carry an aspect of secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by you or others around you. The oppressive nature of this card can add a sense of heaviness when you feel helpless to change a situation. The devil has a toxic quality that can taint any card it immediately follows. Reversed or challenging aspect. When reversed, it can represent release from unhealthy behavior or negative influences. When upright or followed or surrounded, By challenging cards, it can intensify the upright meaning and sometimes indicate nefarious activities. The sun, seeing the light, shining success, happiness, and contentment. The radiant sun dominates, shone within our solar system and orbit of the planets. The zodiac wheel reflects its influence upon us all as its gravitational force and magnetic field holds the cosmos together in perfect order. The journey of the planets is mapped across the heavens with everything in its rightful place. The sun is an active energy of the conscious mind and physical plane. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck as it brings happiness and shining success to every situation. Everything responds to the warmth of the sun and its life giving qualities. It brings a general joie de vivre to life and circumstances with a revitalizing energy that can add a spring to your step. The radiance of the sun bestows many blessings to whichever area of life it touches. It could be a joyful contentment in marriage and relationships, happiness in family life, restored vitality to health and well being, success and achievement in your projects and career endeavors, an improvement to prosperity in material matters. Life is good. However, reversed or challenging aspects. The sun is one of the few cards that retain a similar effect to the upright card when reversed, just slightly less so. However, if the upright card is followed by one that is challenging, it would tend to diminish the favorable qualities and show a downturn to positive events. The Four of Cups. Self, self, self. Apathy and discontent. Complacency. A well-dressed youth sits in verdant surroundings with three upright cups beside them, suggesting a good situation and wanting for nothing. For the heavens, a fourth cup is offered, yet the youth appears indifferent to this magical occurrence. The Four of Cups suggests that something may fail to hit the mark and leaves you feeling flat and the Four of Cups suggests that something may fail to hit the mark and leaves you feeling flat and uninspired, or it may result in an anticlimax that jades your expectations. It can represent a situation that has become stale and stagnant, or a sense of boredom and discontent with circumstances, meaning it can highlight a growing dissatisfaction. There can be a warning not to become complacent or take things for granted, just as the youth disregards the magical cup in the image, as the Four of Cups can also represent a blot on the landscape in an otherwise perfect setting. There can be a tendency towards an inner focus and preoccupation with self and circumstances. Due to this mood of apathy and disenchantment, be watchful that you don't inadvertently miss new invitations or opportunities that may be available at this time. Reversed or challenging aspects, some see the reversal as a worsening of the upright meaning. It can also indicate an alleviation to discontentment with new possibilities emerging that brings some renewed energy and enthusiasm. You may be re entering the flow of life following a dormant period or feel release from a stale situation. The Page of Swords, the University of Life. Delayed or challenging news. A serious child, dressed in finery and surrounded by the colors of their royal house, the youth page presents their sword, which symbolizes challenges. They face you squarely with a serious expression representing the direct manner of the suit. The Page of Swords can represent news and messages that are delayed and can also prove challenging, so it may be slightly disappointing. While the communication received may be discouraging, they are usually of a relatively minor nature and can be more representative of a setback rather than a complete failure of plans. When representing a young person, or character traits, the Page of Swords is observant with a bright and insightful mind. Their curiosity thrives on information, so they tend to display good mental agility. The Page of Swords child usually has a level of maturity that belies their age and a responsible and fair-minded manner. They can be willful, as they know their own mind, and may come across as reserved with a serious disposition, so they can seem deep or distant at times. May represent the young people with an astrological sun sign of the air element. That's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate gossip mongers, troublemakers, or someone purposely stirring problems, spying or snooping, inability to focus on the task at hand, lack of clarity, miscommunications, difficulties with an issue surrounding a child, or challenging behavior. Now, the Seven of Cups. So many choices, so little time. Options and choices pipe dreams. Like visions from a landscape, each of the seven cups partially reveals a fascinating curiosity. You would need to step closer to see them fully. They float in the air, suggesting subconscious desires or tempting daydreams. The dark clouds in the background serves as a warning against clouded judgment. And whilst the Seven of Cups can bring options and choices, it is also a card that warns of daydreams and unrealistic desires. The tempting choices on display have an illusionary nature, which adds a cautionary note of being sensible to avoid wishful thinking or building castles in the air. You may feel overwhelmed in a situation where multiple options seems to be available. Imagination could color your thinking, and it would be easy to get carried away with the potential of possibilities. Whatever you may be faced with, ensures you take a practical and realistic approach and thoroughly research all the facts available before making a choice. Reversed or challenging aspects may represent a clearer vision of the future with the ability to cut through illusions. An alternative view considers a lack of choice and lost opportunity through dithering. Some see the reverse card as an expansion of the upright meaning, and this may be the case if the Seven Cups upright has a challenging aspect when followed by a less favorable card. The Ace of Pentacles, keeping both feet firmly on the ground. Prosperous new beginnings, important financial papers. A regal stag supports a golden pentacle towards the heavens, displaying the bounty of a divine gift. Populated by busy, productive creatures, the fertile setting suggests abundant and prosperous conditions. The Ace of Pentacles represents the potential for prosperity and material gains with a new beginning that can provide good financial rewards. It brings the divine gift of a material opportunity, the start of the journey that holds great promise. The outcome will rely upon your attentive efforts as you plant your seeds for fruitful endeavors. This ace provides a good foundation upon which to build something solid and secure for the future, and this may be in any area of life, including relationships, where it can add a stabilizing and grounding influence. It may suggest that something you're cultivating has the capacity of security and abundance. Important documents of a material nature or that hold a financial connection can be relevant, such as house deeds and contracts, work or business agreements, education certificates, legacies or wills, and even marriage certificates. Traditionally, it's represented gifts of gold. However, reversed or challenging aspects, the Ace of Pentacles reverse can indicate a mismanaged or wasted financial opportunity, material instability and insecurity, or a materialistic outlook that brings dissatisfaction. If the upright card has challenging aspects following, then it may represent a short-lived or false start, one that fails to take root. So temperance is here. Moderation in all things. Patience and moderation. Harmony and balance. Healing and renewal. High in the heavens and enveloped by stars, the temperance angel holds a silver and golden cup containing the opposing elements of water and fire. She wears a peaceful expression as she contemplates blending and integrating the opposing forces to attain balance. And whilst the colors of all the suits elements are represented in her clothing, temperance represents moderation, taking the middle path and a balanced approach in order to successfully harmonize opposing forces, whereas justice indicates a balanced mind. Temperance represents balanced emotions, the delicate balancing act to find peace within the internal world of the emotional self. As a card of harmony and balance, the temperance angel can help to bring healing to all types of situation, and with a gentle touch, patience and diplomacy, satisfactory solutions can be found through compromise for a beneficial outcome. If there has been strain in relationships, it can help soothe upsets or repair broken bridges to restore harmony and bring an element of renewal. The gentle influence of the Temperance card can be excellent for physical well being and can often be found in healing situations. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate situations that are out of balance, particularly in relation to something in excess, such as indulgent behaviors where self restraint is lacking, impatience or intolerance, rigid behaviors, or lack of cooperation between people, an inability to find peace within oneself or surrounding circumstances. Page of Swords. The University of Life. The Seven of Cups. So many choices, so little time. The Two of Wands. The courage to be oneself. Joint ventures. Establishing plans. The traveler walks towards two wands firmly planted in the ground, suggesting taking action with plans becoming established. The two wands in the pathway are illuminated from above, forming a gateway to the future of an inspired vision. Having moved forward from the energy and ideas that the ace brought, the Two of Wands shows that the early stages have progressed to get something off the ground. This card can show that you're taking the initial steps in the direction of your goals and ambitions, setting your course and putting plans into action. So the Two of Wands brings continuation to the journey that began in the Ace. So it usually suggests something that has already been started, taking early plans forward and working with them. Our traveler journeys light, suggesting the initial stages on their path as the vast and yet unknown horizon of their ambition unfolds into the distance. Working groups, business partnerships, and joint ventures can be indicated by this card, along with both formal and informal arrangements of collective endeavors, such as collaborations. Reversed or challenging aspects. There may be difficulty or challenges getting plans underway, and it can suggest that scattered focus is preventing progress from being made, and a commitment to the task at hand is needed. May indicate a lack of harmony with a business partner or working group. The Nine of Wands. Worry is interest paid on trouble before it is due. Perseverance and persistence. Determination, of course. The warrior holds firmly on to the ninth wand as though for strength and support. Despite his weary demeanor, he makes a valiant stand in readiness to protect and defend the eight wands behind him. The moody sky suggests unsettled conditions. The Nine of Wands represents perseverance and persistence, and despite the weariness of effort and the journey so far, It suggests it's time to dig down deep and keep pressing on. You can rise to meet the challenge despite stressful conditions. So now is the moment to gather all your reserves for one final push towards the finish line. The eight wands behind the weary warrior demonstrate the accumulation of his efforts to date and the battles that have been endured to reach this point. Oh, yes. In similar fashions, it can show your preparedness to muster up the strength to see something through despite any trying conditions. The Nine of Wands represents having strength and determination in challenging circumstances. So now is not the moment to give up and throw in the towel. Reversed or challenging aspects, obstacles prevent progress. Despite best efforts, challenges can feel relentless and are starting to gain ground to get the upper hand. A sense of world weariness may be developing in the face of what feels like an endless struggle or a thankless task, and you may be questioning your motives. Challenging aspects may suggest thwarted efforts. So the Four of Wands is here, turning a new page. Stability, leisure time, wedding plans. The four wands firmly planted in the ground form a square, an equal-sided structure that can symbolize stability as matters find formation. A family dressed in simple attire appears happily and relaxed in peaceful surroundings. The garland adorning the four wands is often likened to a wedding bower. The four wands bring structure and stability to your plans as a result of the work that has gone before. You should feel satisfied with what you have so far accomplished, what means which means you can now reward yourself with some time out. Holidays may be indicated, a time of rest and relaxation with loved ones and a welcome pause to enjoy some downtime with recreation or leisure pastimes. A rural setting or country activities may feature. The Four Wands brings a feel-good factor into play, a sense of harmony and contentment with self and life, and a reminder of the joy that can be found in the simple pleasures of life. When appearing alongside other cards that may indicate marriage, such as the Ten of Cups or the Hierophant, it may suggest wedding plans or are being made. However, reversed or challenging aspects, the reverse Four of Wands still retains a fairly positive outlook, although it recommends checking the foundations of your plans to ensure they are on a solid basis. Some see it as a sign of insecurity or instability. The Four of Pentacles. The more we get, the more we want. Material ambitions, overcaution, thrifty. In fine surroundings, a richly dressed merchant clutches a container of gold close to him whilst admiring the four pentacles within. He appears overly attached to his possessions. The Four of Pentacles can show that you're focused upon your material ambitions and prepared to work hard to achieve financial goals. Material stability and security may be important to you at this time. So you could be saving for something important or alternatively trying to be frugal and organize a budget to hold on to resources and improve your situation. Once you have achieved your aims, care should be taken to guard against the risk of an imbalance of values developing, such as a materialistic or unhealthy preoccupation with money matters. The Four of Pentacles has a traditional reputation of being the card of the measurer. For some, it can represent withholding, a fear of loss, or being overly cautious. And this may be in any area of life, including on an emotional level. A calculated risk may be required to move things forward. Reversed or challenging aspects. Reverse. The less favorable aspect of the card can become accentuated with an excessive attachment to possessions, hoarding, or being miserly. Some see the reverse card as a sign of loss or money slipping away from you, but this could be also due to lax money management. The Three of Pentacles. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Main occupation, master of your craft. Skilled work. The blacksmith is skilled in his endeavors and a master craftsman of his art. Surrounded by the tools of his trade in the workplace setting, he displays his wares with an expression of pride and satisfaction. The Three of Pentacles represents accomplishing a high standard of competency in your work, having perfected the skills of your craft. Others recognize your talent and capabilities, and you may be considered an expert in your field. It can also represent work you enjoy and have a natural ability for. If you have recently taken a new position, then you have the potential to shine in this particular field or role. Your work could come to the attention of others, and for some, it may bring appreciation through some form of recognition, especially if appearing together with the Six of Wands, which may suggest a formal award. You should feel a sense of satisfaction and achievement through your careful efforts to attain mastery of your craft, which brings gains with recognition. On a mundane level, it can highlight your main occupation. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Three of Pentacles reverse, may show sloppy or bad workmanship, lacking fulfillment within your work, or feeling that your efforts are not being appreciated, and sometimes redundancy, loss of employment, or a lack of work if in business or self-employed. The Sun, seeing the light. The Four of Swords, all work and no play makes you dull, right? It's one of my favorite cards. All work and no play. Rest and recovery, retreat and consolidation. A knight takes rest from recent battles, symbolized by the three swords displayed between the banner. He retains his armor as the fourth sword remains close to hand, suggesting a pause in proceedings before continuing. The Four of Swords represents rest and recovery, taking time to recharge your batteries after a period of stress or strain. You may feel fatigued or slightly detached from outside events, experiencing a need to retreat and replenish energy reserves. For some, it can represent a period of respite, recuperation, or convalescence in relation to health and well being. In business matters or financial affairs, it may suggest consolidation in order to strengthen your position, especially if there has been a follow period or a pause in activity. A period of regeneration may be required in order to take stock, regroup, and retain or regather material resources before continuing onward. In relationships, the Four of Swords can show withdrawal or pulling back from a situation, so it may indicate taking time out for some breathing space. Reverse though challenging aspects, the Four of Swords reverse can indicate picking up the baton and a gradual return to activities, suggesting a slow recovery. Some see the reverse card as the inability to gain some rest even though it is desired. Conversely, other accounts view it as a period of imposed isolation and loneliness rather than voluntarily undertaken. So, the card to meditate on for this reading will be the Two of Swords. Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? Stalemate, conflicting thoughts, analyst paralysis. Shrouded by clouds, a blindfolded face emerges in the sky, suggesting disconnection and clouded thoughts. In front of the moon, two swords are crossed and suspended in the air, unmoving and perfectly poised, awaiting action. The Two of Swords symbolizes a stalemate situation, or one in which a deadlock exists. So something could be stalled and nothing is moving. In relationship matters, it can show that a standoff has developed. You may feel that you need to make a decision yet are unable to move one way or another due to conflicting thoughts and being in two minds, creating analysis paralysis. It may be that you're procrastinating over something or feel as though you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So you remain sitting on the fence, which creates a gridlock situation. And although you feel blinded by a situation, you need to look at the matters objectively and logically so you can make a decision. You must take action in order to break the deadlock and make progress. Reverse or challenging aspects, the Two of Swords reverse may indicate being in denial and refusing to see. Some see the reverse card as an action taken, although not necessarily with a beneficial outcome. If the upright card is followed by any unfavorable card or challenging card, it may show that inaction or a lack of movement leads to undesirable consequences. What a meditation. So, we have the King of Wands, a bold onset. Oh no, the King of Wands, boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Confident and dynamic, adventurous. The King of Wands strikes a confident pose upon a throne engraved with salamanders, which represent the fire element. He appears to sit on the edge of his seat and gives the impression he could spring into action at any moment. In representing character traits or an aspect of personality, the King of Wands is confident, outgoing, and charismatic with a vibrant and roguish charm that makes them popular. They have a dynamic and exciting quality, so they're usually at the heart of the action, which they constantly seek. They are pioneers and trailblazers who push boundaries with persuasive leadership qualities that can rally others to their cause as they forge ahead with grand visions and plans. They are usually compassionate and optimistic with an irresistible drive, but prone to hasty decisions or may seem impulsive. They can act without much planning or forethought. In divination, the King of Wands represents a mature adult, traditionally male, and this may be someone you know or someone of this description who is yet to play a part when appearing in future positions. It can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Reversed or challenging aspects may be hedonistic, given to exaggeration, and disorganized to the point of chaos. Can be fiery and volatile, arrogant, egotistical, domineering, and quick to anger, self-centered, and inconsiderate as to how their plans may impact others, lack of self-discipline. The Seven of Cups. So many choices, so little time. The Four of Pentacles. The more we get, the more we want. The Sun. Seeing the light. A spread for illumination. Card number 1. Question 1. Question 1. Abundance. What is flourishing in my life right now? What is thriving? What in my life is there abundance and celebration? The Ten of Swords. It's always darkest before the dawn. Disappointing endings. Failed plans. A motionless figure lies beneath 10 radiant swords that bear down from a darkened sky. Amidst this scene of defeat, red poppy rise from the ground, a symbol of hope and peace for the future. The 10 brings completion of the suit and closure of a cycle, but in the suit of challenges, the swords appear to have gained the upper hand as they subjugate the figure in the card. And whilst the Ten of Swords can suggest an ending to a difficult situation, it can also represent failed plans that bring a sense of disappointment. A situation may come to a close and fail to live up to your expectation, or plans may not materialize as you hoped. However, it brings release from an exhausting cycle, perhaps with something you just couldn't win or was just not meant to be. Being resigned to accept and surrender to overwhelming forces that seem stacked against you may be considered a wise move rather than a failure. As the poppies in the image demonstrate, new life will emerge and continue, offering hope for pathways yet to come. Reverse or challenging aspects. The reverse card may bring recovery and improvement following loss or defeat, with the inability to find a temporary advantage within the matter. And when the upright Ten of Swords is followed by another challenging card, it can accentuate the less favorable influence. Question 2. The sunlight. Where do I go to find even more happiness and joy in my life? From where does it come from? And how is it usually presented? The Six of Cups. Simple human kindness. Past aspects, memories, and nostalgia. Children play happily in a serene meadow under a perfect summer sky. The six upright cups are surrounded by flowers and small creatures, suggesting harmony and a good feeling with a non-threatening atmosphere. The children may reference childhood memories or the meadows of your youth. The Six of Cups represents situations from the past resurfacing, where something connected to the past becomes relevant to the present. In this instance, it suggests something that affects you emotionally, but is not strictly limited to your love life. It can indicate a blast from the past, so a former flame or love interest could make a reappearance in your life. Reunions with old friends and past acquaintances can feature, so you may be recalling old times and reminiscing over fond memories. In work or business, it can represent previous employers or work contracts, whilst on the home front, it can suggest a childhood home or neighborhood or an old stomping ground. In whatever form it takes, there will always be a connection relating to people or places from the past, and usually of the harmonious neat variety. However, reversed or challenging aspects, being stuck in the past, fixated with a longing for what might have been, and an unwillingness to let something go, unhealthy nostalgia. Alternatively, for some, it may bring the ability to finally move on from the past. Card number 3. Question. Inner light. What is something I love about myself? What is my inner light? From where does it come from? And how is it usually presented? The Five of Cups. Healing lost. Disappointment, sadness, and loss. Grieving. The tone of this card makes an immediate impact. From the moody sky to the stance of the grieving warrior, mourning the loss of the three overturned and spilt cups. They do not see the two upright cups behind them. Traditionally, the Five of Cups is the card of sadness and loss, and shows that you may be experiencing feelings of disappointment or regret. There's an element of sorrow, so it can represent the natural process of grieving and mourning that accompanies the impact of an emotional loss. So whilst the three spilled cups indicate something that has been lost, the two upright cups shows that something good still remains or will evolve out of this situation. And although it may not yet be evident in the present moment, It should become apparent at a later date. The nature of the five is usually temporary. In larger spreads, please check surrounding or following cards to see if the situation improves or how matters will progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Five of Cups reversed can indicate healing and recovery following a situation that brought a heavy heart, but not a total reversal of the matter. If the upright Five of Cups is followed by a less favorable card, it would suggest that matters are escalating and can indicate a worsening situation. Well, card in question number 4, Outer Radiance. A friendly companion. What can aid me in finding clarity? The Five of Swords. No man is an island. Underhandedness. Hidden agenda. Hollow victory. A man poses with his sword aloft in a victorious gesture as he proudly displays 4 other swords as his trophy. The broken figures in the background show their defeat. His gain has been at the expense of their loss. The Five of Swords shows an element of deceit, maybe at work. Someone is not being honest in their dealings, and there's usually some form of underhandedness with a hidden agenda going on in the background. Devious behaviors is highlighted, and it can represent something being taken and lost in an unfair manner. Theft can be indicated, although not always of physical goods. The Five of Swords holds a spiteful edge and can warn of someone trying to take advantage of you or acting with malicious intent. As a dishonorable card that shows a lack of ethic and moral code, it advises care in all your dealings. The Five of Swords usually warns of something to guard against, but also reminds you to check your moral compass in all your undertakings, as something gained by unfair means will result in a hollow victory. Reversed or challenging aspects can amplify the upright meaning to a larger degree, and while some see the reverse card as moving beyond a defeat or loss, if the upright card is followed by challenging cards, it can warn of a difficult situation, gathering momentum, or treachery gaining a foothold. Question number 5. Cloudiness. What stands in the way of me being able to appreciate all the good things in my life? What needs some clearing? The Knight of Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storm. A long-awaited outcome. Slow and steady progress. Long-standing situation. The knight and steed are adorned in suit colors with a pinnacle shield and the alchemical sign for earth. They appear to have taken the scenic route as they steadily ride through verdant countryside. The scroll can represent resourcefulness, being industrious, and keeping score or store. The rabbit acts as a reminder of the fable that it's not always the fastest who wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles represents a long-standing situation that finally comes to fruition and can relate to any area of life. It often brings the outcome to a matter that has been patiently awaited, or results finally forthcoming to something you'd almost given up on. It can indicate a slow burn situation or something developed over a long period of time. So the Knight of Pentacles suggests slow and steady progress and planning for the longer term. If you're using the Knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, they will be steady and reliable, practical and methodical by nature, and fairly mellow. They don't like to be rushed and can be stubborn or set in their ways. Reversed or challenging aspects. Situations can become stuck without movement or progress, including financial resources, representing a person or character trait. It would assume the less favorable aspects. Someone with lack of imagination or ambition, becoming set in boring routines. It may also suggest laziness. The King of Swords. Nothing succeeds like success. Serious and responsible. Enigmatic. The King of Swords' stately throne appears to dominate him, perhaps referencing the cool exterior he exudes, cold as steel. It floats in the sky of his airy domain, indicating an analytical thought as he presents his sword with a serious demeanor. As a person representing character traits, the King of Swords has an authoritative presence and can make a natural leader with courage and a good backbone, quietly confident with a reserved demeanor. They may appear slightly detached and prefer to get on with the task at hand without fuss or fanfare. They are observant and analytical and rational thinker with a sharp mind and good intelligence, and a reasoned and articulate individual. They're not inclined to wear their heart on their sleeve and may seem something of a closed book and difficult to fathom, but they have hidden depths. The King of Swords makes a loyal friend and protective partner, provides good advice, likes to see fair play, and takes responsibility seriously. The card can sometimes represent someone in uniform or legal or justice positions. In divination, the King of Swords indicates a mature adult, traditionally male, and it can represent the astrological sun sign connected to the air element. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects can appear to be standoffish or unapproachable, tough and flexible and uncompromising, may seem formidable or intimidating. Clear my throat chakras, please. Some see the reverse card as the opposite, representing flawed thought and decision making, or someone weak and influential and effectual. The Sun, seeing the light. The Page of Swords. The Page of Coins, Pentacles. Your reputation goes before you. Financial news, placid child. A young page dressed in house colors of green and gold presents a large golden pentacle to the viewer. The peacock at their side is a symbol of wealth and prosperity. So the Page of Cups indicates news and messages of a financial nature or concerning material affairs, usually news you are pleased to receive. Depending upon the situation and surrounding cards, for some, this page may bring news regarding scholastic or educational matters such as study courses, scholarships, or academic placements. When representing a child, the Page of Pentacles is solid and dependable with a steady and methodical nature. Those who are academically minded may feature, and although some are more inclined towards practical skills where they excel with manual dexterity, they tend to be grounded and level headed with a placid nature, but can be obstinate with a fixed mindset. As a facet of personality, the pages are young at heart with an open enthusiasm, but also a naivety that is yet to mature. As relative to the qualities of the suit, can represent minor minors with astrological sun signs of the earth element. That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may indicate unfavorable news concerning finances or material affairs, an immature attitude towards finances. When representing a young person, it can take on less favorable aspects, signifying a lackadaisical attitude, lack of motivation or ambition, or sloppy and careless efforts. So the Tower is here, a wake up call, sudden upheaval, abrupt change, disruption. Storm clouds gather in the heavens as a lightning bolt strikes the tower, sending a naked figure tumbling headlong from the fiery blast into an unknown destination. We never know where lightning may strike, suggesting it is an unforeseen and shocking event. The tower can represent an abrupt change that brings upheaval and disruption. Unexpected news may arrive suddenly that shakes the fabric of your world, or a situation disintegrates. As creatures of habit, the structures we build in our lives create a sense of security. Sudden change rattles the foundations and plunges us headlong into uncertainty. This abrupt event usually comes from an external source and may feel outside of your control. So there tends to be an air of inevitability about it. And however, you can control your response, so it can serve as a warning to consider alternative plans or prepare contingency measures. As with all the cards, the Tower operates across a wide spectrum. Keep a sense of perspective rather than assume an extreme or worst case scenario. The Tower brings a flash of insight as it removes a false philosophy that was built on shaky foundations, and it allows you to build anew from a stronger base. Reverse the challenging aspects the Tower reverse may minimize the impact of the upright meaning or can indicate a danger averted. When followed by challenging aspects, it can intensify the situation and show the subsequent fallout. The Seven of Cups. So many choices, so little time. The Queen of Wands. The spark of life. Warm and gregarious. Spontaneous. The vibrant colors associated with fire dominate the scene. The queen greets you face on with wand in hand in preparation for action. The fires of her domain burns brightly atop a decorative column as a small dog observes her affectionately, a symbol of loyalty. Examining character traits, the Queen of Wands has an open and cheerful disposition with a bright and bubbly nature that attracts others. They often find a wide social circle, have a wide social circle, and are excellent networkers, a social butterfly, energetic and always on the go. There's never enough hours to cram everything into their busy and varied calendar. The Queen of Wands is full of fun and makes a loyal friend. They love life and like to make the most of every moment, but can have a fear of missing out. Attention to details is not their strong point, so they can be disorganized and prefer spontaneity over routine. In divination, the Queen of Wands represents a mature adult, traditionally female, and this may be someone you know or someone of this description who is yet to play a part when appearing in future positions. It can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, the fire element. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Queen of Wands reversed may be chaotic and unreliable, unpredictable, conceited, and fiery. They may create drama. Lack of self discipline can be an exploitative social climber, prone to gossip, and spiteful if crossed. The star, somewhere over the rainbow. Hope and healing, improving circumstances, inspiration. Under the gentle light of 8 stars, a naked woman gently pours illuminated water from 2 vessels into the calm pool of the unconscious. Nakedness suggests truth and purity. The ancients looked to the stars for navigation, and a compass has 8 points representing guidance. The star on her forehead may suggest inspired thought. The star is the card of hope. It brings a sense of optimism and tells you to have faith, safe in the knowledge that better times lie ahead. Its beautiful aspects mean it is always a welcome sight in any situation, and it reminds you to believe in yourself. It brings inspired thought with a renewed vision for the future, and your plans show promise under the light of the star. For some, it may be literal, placing you in the spotlight and allowing you to shine. The calm and gentle energy of this lovely card can bring healing to any situation and indicates improved circumstances for your general well being or health matters. It can reinvigorate relationships and help to heal rifts and suggest harmonious living conditions, especially if times have been tough of late. Reversed or challenging aspects, the star reverse can suggest a lack of faith, losing hope, or feeling down and discouraged or world weary. When the upright card is followed by less favorable aspects, it may show a temporary reprieve before challenges return. The Page of Swords, the University of Life. The Five of Wands. Discretion is the better part of valor. Petty obstacles, competition, friction. Five youths are sparring with each other, and the atmosphere seems competitive and highly charged. The terrain appears challenging under a moody sky. The wand creates a zigzag as though scattering the energy. The five wands can indicate petty obstacles where it seems as though it's one thing after another to thwart your efforts, but whilst wearing, it's not insurmountable. The fives are the halfway point where situations can tip one way or the other, so they bring an element of instability. And although usually temporary in nature, in work or business, you may experience a competitive environment, and rivalry or office politics can sometimes feature. This will be a challenging atmosphere if you're applying for work or trying to start a new endeavor, as it can show a competitive field or numerous hindrances creating obstructions. There may be conflicts of interest, and it could be difficult to find agreement with others, as everyone may have a different viewpoint and be coming at things from a different angle. It is a card of tension and friction, or a lack of agreement, rather than one of full blown quarrels. However, reverse the challenging aspects. The Five of Wands reverse can add fuel to the fire, and although some accounts see it as a making progress and an end to disagreements, when followed by a less favorable card, it may indicate a tense situation that could escalate into something more serious. My Lord, judgment is here. Your day will come. Revival and resurrection, release and renewal. From the heavens, an angelic herald calls forth all souls that rise up and are resurrected for the great awakening and liberation of Judgment Day. Judgment brings resurrection and revival of something from the past as you stand at a pivotal crossroad in your life. This reawakening presents the opportunity to face a past situation, to review and learn a valuable lesson from what has gone before, in order to wipe the slate clean before moving forward and making a fresh start. It can liberate you from a past aspect to bring release and renewal. Something that has lain dormant may spring back to life, providing a second chance to breathe new life into it so it can be resurrected and born anew. It can indicate reconciliation in a relationship or an old project being revived. Whatever is under review will hold some previous history, but this occasion can allow you to course correct and move things forward with rightful action. Judgment always brings something back around for a revisit, and whilst there are or can be a sense of deja vu, it brings a rebirth. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate being stuck in a pattern due to denial or refusing to examine and deal with a past issue. Feeling unable to move past something and let go in order to accept a new situation and circumstances may suggest self doubt. It can revive an old problem if any neighboring cards to the upright are challenging. The Nine of Swords. Worry is the only thing improved by delay. The Moon. Appearances can be deceptive. Uncertainty, illusions, and unknown factors. Secrecy. A mechanical device appears to frame or project the moon onto a globe, creating an optical illusion. Set between two pillars, the moon dominates the scene in a twilight sky, suggesting an intermediate and changeable state. The creatures respond to their natural instincts, and the crab emerges from the ocean of the subconscious, representing the shadowy aspect of the unknown. The moon can represent illusionary situations, possible deceptions through revealed activities, and feelings of uncertainty due to unknown factors that cause confusion. Emotions are highly charged and fluctuating, similar to the ebb and flow of the tides from the gravitational pull of the moon, which can create a sense of instability. It can warn against jumping to conclusions, as the light of the moon can create illusions, shapes, and the shadows that are not what they seem. There's usually more to a situation than first meets the eye, so wait until the situation has revealed itself, as it will do in due course. The mystical association of the moon can represent dreams becoming more vivid as the subconscious reveals itself, and intuition may be heightened, but care will be needed due to the illusionary nature. Reversed or challenging aspects can intensify the less favorable aspects, such as delusion, hallucination, and paranoia, being switched off from reality, trippy, deception, smoke and mirrors, or concealment may suggest something dissipating and on the way. The Knight of Cups. Getting caught up in emotions. Offers and proposals. Invitations. The gallant Knight of Cups makes a graceful entrance as they offer you their cup, suggesting an emotional token. They appear to be on a romantic quest rather than one of battle. The compared horse bears the alchemical sign of water and rears in the stream, which is symbolic of emotions. The Knight of Cups presents you with a pleasant proposition, and whilst it may be of a romantic variety, it can also represent an offer or proposal in any area of life that affects you on an emotional level. Traditionally, the Knight of Cups indicates a marriage proposal, but it can also be a declaration of love or invitation from a loved interest. And it can also apply to different situations in other areas of life, such as work or property offers, business proposals, or social invitations. It, if using the night to represent a young person or character trait. This knight can be a romantic idealist, charming and considerate, with their sensitive nature. They may have artistic tendencies, but can be unrealistic dreamers, moody with shifting emotions, and lack following through. Reverse the challenging aspects. Offer or invitation postponed or fails to develop. A proposal may not be as it first appears. If you're looking for a committed relationship, then this may not be one. Wait, then this may be one to avoid. And the reverse card can suggest one who enjoys the ideal of romance, but with no strings attached. A flirt, a serial dater, or someone who is otherwise non committal. And that is the end of Wednesday's read. August 19th, 2026. The Sun Energy. Live a meaningful life. Discover the meaning of life. You have been listening to High Priestess Shavanda. Be back with another one.